According to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, around 1 million Afghans aged between 15 and 64 suffer from drug addiction. At 8% of the population, this rate is twice the global average.
Hundreds of thousands of Afghans are addicted to drugs. Experts say decades of war, poverty, unemployment, and unchecked cultivation of poppy remain the main factors in the rise of addiction.
A 50-bed addiction treatment hospital lies in the outskirts of Ghazni city, where over 40 patients are undergoing treatment.
We have two kinds of facility. One is drug treatment, and the other is counseling service. This center is provided the service for the addictors who use opiums, hashish, heroines, alcohols, and other drugs.
Dr. Amirzai says over 100,000 people are addicted to drugs in the Ghazni province alone. The treatment of a patient lasts for 45 days.
We have different programs for patients. The first one is outreach. Then we have a program of motivation. But we start with the detoxification program for 15 days to see if they are making progress or will continue to take drugs once he leaves.
After 3 decades of war-related trauma, unlimited availability of cheap narcotics and limited access to treatment have created a major and growing addiction problem in Afghanistan.
Since I was born, I have seen war in Afghanistan. For 40 years, there have been invasions and bloodshed. I have seen poverty, and I am responsible for providing to my family. I am unemployed. There are no jobs. Our country has suffered, and that is how I got into drugs.
The patients at the facility are mostly skilled laborers, from truck drivers, tailors, factory workers to cooks and masons.
I used to work at a factory in Iran, and when I became weak, the factory owners gave me opium, saying it would give me strength. That's how I got addicted. When I came back to Afghanistan, 2 of my brothers were killed during the war. I was supporting their families. I gave up on life and started living under a bridge. Then these people brought me here.
Much has been said and written about Afghanistan as a leading producer of drugs, causing health havoc in the world. It is time to recognize that the same tragedy is taking place in Afghanistan that has now become a leading consumer of its own opium. Experts say the Taliban regime needs to set up efforts to control the use of narcotics, as it is of critical importance not only for security but also for safeguarding the next generation from the menace of drugs. Danial Khan, CGTN, Ghazni, Southeast Afghanistan.